Atlanta News First Plus starts now with a First Alert Weather Day.
Hi friends, I want to start you out with a radar because it is storming up in Tennessee. It's like a train of rain and thunder up there. Nothing severe, but we're seeing flash flood warnings pop up from the Lookout Mountain area up in northeast Tennessee. This is due to a cold front that's well to our north. And it's actually mostly dry here. I'm just seeing a few very light showers. That's going to be the case of the day today, but we're already seeing peaks of sunshine break through. We're going to see more sunshine today than what we saw yesterday. So most of those storms, although I do think the mountains could tap into some of that rain today, most of those storms in Tennessee will stay to our north. They're not going to sag down into our area. We're actually going to see storms lift in from Alabama later on today. That's the reason for the first alert, but it's a pretty low impact first alert weather day. It's really, I would say between 5 and 10 p.m. that storms will be the most widespread in metro, and severe weather is not likely. So noon, if you want to eat lunch outside, good to go. 82 degrees, mostly cloudy skies will top out near 90. In fact, we hit 90 today, so I wouldn't be super surprised if we hit 90 again. If you live south of the city, you're going to start to see storms around 5, 6 p.m. But for Metro Atlanta, it's really after dinner time, 7, 8 p.m. So any of the later after-school practices that are happening tonight or any of the later commutes, that's when we're going to see some storms, okay? So let's take you through the Futurecast model. Again, a few showers through the early afternoon. Looks like this model isn't updating the way I want it to, unfortunately. But again, it does look like rain will be the most widespread between 5 to 10 p.m. Overnight tonight, possibly some showers, maybe even some rain lasting through the early morning commute tomorrow. If you're going to be on the road before 7 a.m., possibly some showers. But here's the deal tomorrow. Our wind shifts to coming out of the north. That ushers in drier air, so you could see just a few showers on the map tomorrow and definitely more sunshine. So after today, we will start to dry out back into the 90s. Guys, this has been the coolest start to August ever on record. That changes back half of August. We'll be back into the low 90s. Take a look. So not super hot, but certainly hotter than where we've been as we head into this weekend. Back to pool weather. All right. So that's the good news there. So again, I'm watching scattered storms this evening, drier tomorrow. We're watching Friday closely. Friday, we may see a storm system drop in from South Carolina. Right now, I have a 40% chance for afternoon storms, but if that bumps any higher, we may issue a first alert weather day for Friday just to let you know that storms could impact the end of your week as you head into the weekend. We're watching Friday closely. Saturday, Sunday still look mostly dry. Cannot rule out some scattered showers on Saturday, just typical summertime stuff, but generally keep your outdoor plans for this weekend. And it looks mostly dry as we head into next week as well. On Atlanta News First at noon, I will be giving you an update on Tropical Storm Erin, still likely to reach a hurricane by the end of the week and a major hurricane. But there's good news in terms of where it's headed in our impact. So I will be bringing you that for now. Live look outside, your news headlines just ahead.
And thanks, Ella. I'm Rick Folbaum. Good to see everybody. Hope you're doing well on this Wednesday, the 13th of August. You just got the weather lowdown from Ella. I want to give you some of the news headlines of this day because there is a lot going on, and maybe this is something that you saw yesterday. Some nurses and supporters rallied outside of the VA in Decatur. And they were there to protest the Trump administration terminating union contracts for VA healthcare workers. And our Atlanta News First reporter Joshua Skinner went out to this protest, this rally, and he spoke with them about the VA and about recent decisions that were made by the Trump administration. Take a listen.
It started as an act of defiance. We are the nurses! And morphed into a cry for help.
We see healthcare really declining in this country.
VA nurses and advocates gathered outside the Atlanta VA in Decatur, protesting moves they feel will hurt their ability to help veterans with mental health issues.
There's an increasing number of veterans who need mental and physical therapeutic, rehabilitative health care through the VA.
Ed Anderson organized the day's protest. He's also an Air Force veteran who uses the VA.
There is no way that with the cuts that are imagined at the VA, that those needs are going to be met.
Much has been made about the cuts under the Trump administration at the VA, but VA officials tell me this isn't the case at all. In a statement, the VA told Atlanta News First, the Atlanta VA is not reducing any staff. It is reassigning mental health care providers from low-demand specialties to those with higher demand. That higher demand includes non-intensive mental health care and substance abuse treatment. The VA added that it is not cutting funding either, but rather requesting a 10% increase for the next fiscal year. Still, workers here say it's hard to take the administration at its word, especially when adequate staffing is an ongoing issue, and they hope the decisions made benefit those who sacrificed.
We don't want to be a country that forgets. We want to be a country that remembers those who served.
People have to realize this is not a red or blue issue. This is an American issue.
Indicator, Joshua Skinner, Atlanta News.
And that was Joshua Skinner reporting. Okay, some other news today. The sergeant who was accused in the Fort Stewart shooting from a week ago today, he is now facing attempted murder charges. His name is Cornelius Radford. He went before a judge. This is a story, of course, that we've been following very closely since last Wednesday. He is now accused of shooting 5 soldiers on his base about 40 minutes or so outside of Savannah last week. He has been at the Liberty County Jail in the meantime. He will now be transferred to a military jail in Charleston, South Carolina. That transfer date, though, has not been set. Okay, have your kids started school? Most kids, I think, here in Metro Atlanta, at least, are now back in the classroom as of today. Some parents in DeKalb County are a little upset as their kids start off this new school year, and that has to do with the amount of time that their kids are being given to play outside, recess. My favorite subject when I was in school. Atlanta News First reporter Yasmina Alston spoke with a mom about why skills learned outside the classroom, on the playground, can sometimes be just as important as what they learn from their books.
They just need time to be able to play on the playground.
Some DeKalb County parents say their elementary students aren't getting enough recess time. Marianne Pettis is a parent who tells me some of the county schools went from having 30 minutes of recess last year to now having only 15 minutes. And that's not enough, especially when you factor in travel time to the playground.
Your 15 minutes is just horrendous, and then the 15 minutes wasn't even enough to begin with.
So a group of parents formed a group called 30 for Recess and started a petition calling for a mandated 30 minutes of daily recess for all elementary schools.
Well, there's lots of studies out there that really support, the more recess, the better.
They cite research, including a CDC recommendation of at least 20 minutes of recess for their child's mental and physical health. Pettis tells me the goal is not to take away from any learning, but improvement in recess times can help in the classroom and with other life skills.
These kids really need time to, develop friendships and practice, they need to learn how to be empathetic towards other kids and how to problem solve.
DeKalb County School Superintendent Devin Horton says their policy of 15 minutes for recess started in 2009, and elementary schools have the ability to make adjustments themselves, which is why some of them had 30 minutes in the first place. Currently, there is no state law that specifies a minimum time for outside. Horton addressed the parents' concerns at Monday's school board meeting, saying he hopes to work with them.
This is not a us versus them. As much as some of the energy may have come off in some spaces, we're on the same page.
Yasmina Alston, Atlanta News First.
All right, well, the U.S. Supreme Court is actually being asked to take up the issue of same-sex marriage again, and they're being asked to overturn a decision that they made 10 years ago. Kim Davis has filed an appeal to the Supreme Court. She's the former clerk in Kentucky, who you may remember refused court orders to issue a same-sex marriage license in 2015. She said that her religious beliefs prevented her from doing that. In 2023, a federal jury awarded a gay couple $100,000 in a case against her. The court has not yet agreed to take up the appeal, but a lot of people are curious as to whether or not they will. And finally, on this Wednesday, Beyonce. She is one step closer to becoming an EGOT. That's when you have won all 4 of the major performing arts awards, Emmy, Tony, Grammy, and Oscar. She just won her first Emmy Award, the Queen Bee winning a Primetime Emmy for costume design for her Netflix special Beyonce Bowl. which was basically the halftime show that she did at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, which was just incredible, right? She could actually win more Emmys for the same show at the Creative Arts Emmys, which are taking place next month. So those are your news headlines for this Wednesday. Again, it is a First Alert Weather Day. Ella's going to have the latest on that throughout the day and at noon on Atlanta News First. But for now, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you real soon here on Atlanta News First.
Thank you for watching ANF Plus. For more breaking news, live coverage, and your community stories, download the Atlanta News First app. You can also watch us on YouTube, Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. To join the conversation on YouTube Live, visit our channel and hit subscribe. You can also listen to the Atlanta News First podcast by searching Atlanta News First on your preferred listening platform.